Greetings and welcome to a video in which I hope to demystify and clarify for you just what is Great Britain, England, the United Kingdom. It's not unusual for people to confuse these terms and say one when they mean another, and that's true of people that live here as well as people from abroad. So, before I do, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and then join me on this mysterious journey. Some countries are quite simple. Portugal is Portugal. It's lovely and warm, and port comes from there. It has different regions, and many people go on holiday to the region of the Algarve. But people don't tend to say Algarve when they mean Portugal. Some countries are a bit more complicated. When I was a much younger badger, I went a couple of times to Amsterdam. What was I doing there? What any young English badger does in Amsterdam.
You filthy little devil!
What happens in Amsterdam stays in Amsterdam, Sergeant Major. Amsterdam is in Holland, North Holland to be exact, and Holland is in the Netherlands, but it is not all of the Netherlands. Yet many folk confuse the two and often say Holland when in fact they mean the Netherlands. And then there's this place. A complicated country with a complicated past, which, as I said, even its own people aren't always entirely clear about. The story of how we got to where we are is not just long and complicated, it is often violent, with lots of unsympathetic men using beautifully crafted bits of steel to explain to their opponents just why this bit of land belongs to them. Where there is conflict, there is controversy, and even in 2025, just which bits of these islands should be under which flags is still hotly debated. To keep things simple, I'm not going to go into how we got to where we are, getting lost in the historical long grass. I'm just going to lay out what is what today, in the year of our Lord 2025. So let's start with the geography. This is the British Isles, off the coast of Europe, with France there in the bottom right corner. Let's all say hello to our French neighbours.
Bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys!
How dare you mock the French, Willie? That's my job. There are some 292 islands in total, but by far the largest is the island of Britain, which gives the archipelago its name, closely followed by the island of Ireland. We now move to the political, and the islands are divided between two sovereign nation-states. The United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, usually referred to as the UK, and the Republic of Ireland, sometimes referred to as ERA. The largest country of the United Kingdom is the Kingdom of England, occupying the south, middle and east of the island of Britain, but with a small number of islands such as the Isle of Wight, Portsea Island, the Isle of Sheppey, Canvey Island and the Isles of Scilly. The flag of England is the St George's Cross, and the capital city is London. The population is, or was, as of the 2021 census, around 56.5 million people. Next is the Kingdom of Scotland, which occupies the north of the island of Britain. Scotland also has some 40 inhabited islands, such as Lewis and Harris, Shetland, Orkney, Skye, Bute, Arran, Islay and Mull. The flag of Scotland is the St Andrew's Cross, the capital city is Edinburgh, and the population is a little under 5.5 million. At this point, I'd like to take you on a brief detour to Hadrian's Wall. This is the Roman wall built on the orders of the Emperor Hadrian in AD 122. The wall was built to mark the northern limit of the Roman province of Britannia, making it very clear where civilization ended. The wall is one of the great historic sites of Britain and is often spoken of in popular culture as if it were the border between England and Scotland. There's no great harm in this, but it is not, and it never has been, the Anglo-Scots border. When the wall was built, there was no England and no Scotland. In the early years, the border between England and Scotland did move, often dramatically, but it has been established more or less where it is today since 1237. As you can see, Hadrian's Wall is entirely within the Kingdom of England. Right, now let's get back to the 21st century.
As the Badger Rampant's legal counsel, I would point out that his assurance not to get sidetracked with historical detail was not legally binding. He may go off on a tangent at any time.
Next, we come to the Principality of Wales, or in Welsh, Cymru. Wales occupies the western part of the island of Britain, and also the islands of Anglesey, or Ynys Môn, Holy Island, and Bardsey Island. The flag of Wales is a red dragon, or Dre Goch. The capital city is Cardiff, Caerdydd, and the population is approximately 3.2 million. Together, England, Scotland and Wales constitute Great Britain. It is called great not so much because it is bloody marvellous, although it is, but because it includes not just the island of Britain, but all those smaller islands as well. If it were being named by an advertising agency today, no doubt they would call it Britain Plus.
Ugh.
I have heard of people referring to the United Kingdom of Great Britain, which is incomplete nonsense. There is something missing. We have one more country to go. The province of Northern Ireland is, you won't be shocked to learn, in the north of the island of Ireland. It is often referred to as Ulster, as it is made up of the counties of Antrim, Down, Armagh, Fermanagh, Londonderry and Tyrone. These were 6 of the 9 counties of Ulster, one of the 4 historic provinces of the Kingdom of Ireland, Monaghan, Cavan and Donegal being in the Republic of Ireland. Northern Ireland has one inhabited island, Rathlin, and the capital city is Belfast. The population is approaching 2 million.
My client is well aware that the flag shown here, the Ulster banner, has not had any official status since 1972. Other than the Union flag, there is no official flag for Northern Ireland. The Ulster banner is the most widely recognized flag, which is why it is shown here. Live with it.
Together, Great Britain and Northern Ireland constitute the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. The flag of the United Kingdom is the Union flag, or Union Jack. Some people insist on one, some on the other. Don't worry, there'll be a video about this and how this striking flag came about. The capital city is London, and the total population is over 67 million. Although Scotland has a parliament, Wales a Senedd, and Northern Ireland an assembly, the UK as a whole is run by the UK Parliament at Westminster in London, with members of Parliament elected from all 4 countries. It is the UK that sends ambassadors abroad, issues passports, is represented at the UN, runs the armed forces, etc. It's worth noting that although people often talk of the UK as small, it covers a little less land than the US state of Michigan. The population is rather more than double that of Texas. The observant ones among you are no doubt bouncing up and down shouting, "You've missed a bit!" while pointing to the island that lies between Scotland, Ireland, Wales and England. Panic not, we'll talk about that now. This is the Isle of Man, or Mannin, or Ellen Vannin. It is very much part of the British Isles, but it is not a constituent part of the United Kingdom. The people do not pay tax to the UK government or elect MPs to the UK Parliament. Its status is that of a Crown dependency. It runs its own internal affairs, overseen and protected by the UK. On Man, His Majesty King Charles III is the Lord of Man. The capital is Douglas. The population is about 84,500. You want more? Well, yes, the picture is not yet quite complete. Right down at the bottom of the map is a group of islands off the coast of France. In purely geographical terms, they are not part of the British Isles, although they are certainly British islands. They are known collectively as the Channel Islands, and like Man, they are Crown dependencies. They are a survival from the times when the King of England also held lands in France, being the Duke of Normandy. The islands are divided into two bailiwicks, that of the island of Jersey and that of Guernsey, being the island of Guernsey, along with the smaller islands of Alderney and Sark. The capital of Jersey is St Helier, and St Peter Port is the capital of Guernsey. The total population is about 172,000. In the Channel Islands, King Charles is known as the King, our Duke. So, there you have it, the United Kingdom in a nutshell. I hope it is all rather clearer to you now than it was at the start of the video, and that you've enjoyed this journey through this complicated and fascinating country. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share for more Britishy goodness. And in the meantime, cheery bye.